What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Nightcrawler. So grab your iced tea and your Conan Barbarian action figures and let's review Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is directed by Dan Gilroy and stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's about a man who's jobless and comes across an accident on the side of the road. He gets out his car and starts to look at this accident, which is a burning car on the side of the road, and he witnesses a whole bunch of news teams running towards the accident and start to film it. The next day he goes to a pawn shop, gets a camera and starts to listen to cop radio signals. He hears about a homicide and starts to film it. It's very explicit. There's a guy who's basically shot, I think like 3 times or something, and he's just there filming it all. He goes to a local news team and they basically buy the footage that he's got. He works his way up until eventually he gets this one scene where there's a triple homicide and it causes a lot of controversy because this news team isn't really allowed to show explicit content like they're doing, but they're doing it anyway. His content is brutal. Lewis Bloom, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, films all of this. They buy it off him and they're not meant to show this footage. They blur out a little bit of the stuff, but it's not enough for the news to show. Eventually it gets to the ending, and the ending is such a great ending. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's very good and it involves a car chase. Nightcrawler is one of my favourite films because it's so, like I said with Drive, it's so diverse and it's a different film, and every time I watch it, it's awesome. Let's talk about Lewis Bloom. Lewis Bloom is probably one of the most memorable characters I can think of. I've watched this movie so many times. Lewis Bloom, every time I watch it, he just gets more creepier and creepier every time I watch this film. Jake Gyllenhaal does a perfect job playing this character, and I just love every second of this character on screen. There's also a lot of other characters, like the lady that he sells the footage to, and the movie it gets involved with her, and also the guy that he's competing against in another news team. It's such a great film. The cinematography is really good and the nighttime scenes are great. This movie, every second of it is great. The last scene, the car chase, is directed perfectly. This whole movie is directed perfectly. The script, the cinematography, everything about this movie is perfect, basically. What I like about the ending is it feels like an action film. Like if you just turn over the channel and it comes onto this, you might think it's just an action film because it's directed and shown perfectly on the screen. It's crazy. Dan Gilroy has directed some popular films, but I think this is definitely his best film. Nightcrawler is fantastic. It's just one of those movies that I have to watch at least once a month. Conan thinks it's pretty good. I actually had to do a report on this movie, and I think I definitely got an A for the report, and just because I know every time I watch, because I've seen it heaps of times, I notice different things about this movie. Some of the stuff that Lewis Bloom says in this is just gold, and he's just this creepy, reclusive man. He's just so... Jake Gyllenhaal is so good as Lewis Bloom. It's so good. This is probably one of my favourite scenes in the movie, so check it out.
But working for myself is more in line with my skills and career goals.
Take a few days to think about it.
No, you'll need to hire someone else, and I don't want to hold up the process.
You want to be on the inside of this, man, because I'm going to be tag teaming every call.
You keep talking like it's something that I may be interested in, but I'm not.
You don't even understand the offer. If you did, you'd be fucking sucking my dick. You asking me questions. What does this mean? What does that mean?
I feel like grabbing you by your ears right now and screaming in your face, I'm not fucking interested. Instead, I'm gonna drive home and do some accounting.
Fuck you, twerp.
That is probably one of my favourite scenes because before that he was kind of building up to that moment, and then when it was that moment, you're just like, alright, you don't want to mess with this guy. Overall, this movie is great. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. If you have, please tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm Popcorn Movie Reviews, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.